Trying to get live here, guys. Okay, we finally made it, I believe. Check 1, 2. Not sure what happened there. We didn't get live for some reason. Hey, Steve. Good evening. Just had another quick sell-off in Bitcoin. Got a little bit of news out here today. Zimmy Jim. Lodak, what's up? Nick's holding down his job, so I'm in here by myself. What's up, Moscow Mule? Been a while. We're good over here, can't complain. Philip, how you been, Moscow? So a couple things here I guess we could talk about. I know they had the OK exchange, the whale trade. Looks like I want to discuss that for a minute because obviously they got a gentleman got about, well, like 40 million plus long, and then they didn't like the risk parameters. They told him to limit his risk, and I guess he didn't reply. So obviously news like that gets around, and I would say they knew they had somebody on the edge, so they obviously took prices down to wipe him out. Kind of reminds me years ago when I was on the Chicago Board of Trade Exchange because somebody had been short bonds for quite a while. A big trader was down, I'm guessing it was hundreds of millions, and everybody knew it. So one day they came in to basically force him out of his positions, and bonds opened up limit. So he got cremated some more because the whole floor knew it, and then that day they closed down limit. So I think probably that's what somewhat happened here, because they showed here on this news article that I guess he bought him on this break, which I was impressed with that rally, but I guess it was him coming in with 40 million, which was a $400 million trade. And then I'm guessing they probably liquidated him all down here. So I'd be impressed if we could just hold these lows here. I mean, we just had a big sell-off here. This is the 5-minute. If we can recover from here now, I'd be impressed. Some of the alts are trying to hold in here. They've been bleeding, as everybody knows. All right, it's funny, CoinMarketCap had a problem with their APIs, so a lot of this stuff just doesn't work as easy as it does on the stock side. Hit me up, Moscow. So, not much really. I also had, hold on here, because there was a little more news. I'm not a big fan of the news, but we've got ICE, the NYSE operator, New York Stock Exchange. They're announcing a global digital assets platform. So there, once again, I mean, news is out there that everybody's headed this way. I think that's got to be good for us longer term. So I think that's good news. I wanted to go back over, we mentioned it on, I think last night's live broadcast. Novogratz came live with Galaxy Digital, Toronto Stock Exchange. You can buy that at your Charles Schwab accounts. I think probably the risk reward on that thing's pretty good here. So if you do it at Schwab, the symbol, let me get this real quick. I had it brought up, but the symbol for Galaxy Digital at Schwab, I'm going to say, don't hold me to this, but it's going to be DRP HD. DRP as in drip HD. So I think you want to call their Charles Schwab World Desk and ask for DRP HD. if you have any interest. But I think that one down here at what it was trading at 217 just a little bit ago. I think that actually came out. They did some private placements of $5. Now it's trading at 217. What's up, James Brown? Sorjan, Surbest. So I think I'd look at that one. Then we got another article today about Wall Street going head first into crypto. So I think that's out there. It talks about BlackRock again, Goldman Sachs, etc. So there's the 5 minute. Let's go down here. What a few things. EOS, I mentioned around 714 or so. I liked it with the stop with the low. It went down and pressed the low, but didn't go through it. That one still looks like it wants to turn the corner. What's up, Mike? Well, so I think short-term EOS maybe is trying to dig out of here. We get above this previous high, 732, I think would be nice. But as you can tell, that chart's much better than Bitcoin here short-term. Not many coins trading better than Bitcoin short-term. So I'd look at that. You guys looking at VET? VET, USDT, Binance. I don't follow VET, so I'm not going to say much about that one. 27 to 15 on the 2 hour. So what's up, Kanan? That's your chart on VET. So spike down to 13. Hey, Nate. So let's go through a few more other coins here. I mean, Bitcoin Cash, trying to hold previous lows, performing better than some of the alts. Dash comes back down. This one surprises me, came back down and tagged another new low. Classic 1480, gave up that support at 1560 or so. Chart doesn't look too bad. I'm guessing this is a 1 here and a 2 if you're trying to do some Elliot wave. We just got too many people liquidating their alts. I still think you can go with that on the classic. Ethereum 413, another new low. Some of these charts did have more or less triangles, which looks like maybe they rally here short term and then go through the low of the day today, and maybe that'll be a decent low for good or for something. Yeah, the Microsoft and Starbucks news went along with the ICE and the New York Stock Exchange. That's got to be good news. So there's Litecoin still trying to defend that 76 level. NEO 2763. If that triangle's good, I mean, we did what we had to out of that triangle, so NEO could put a low in here possibly. We got Vertcoin here, had that big pump, erased it all, but still holding the lows pretty well. Ripple up 1%. Down here in the seller still. ADA weaker than I would expected, but I still like that one. There's EOS again on the 2 hour. Reverse head and shoulders possibly. I don't trade those, but it looks kind of obvious. Made, I mentioned, if it came down at 40, probably be something I'd look at. That's still something holding up pretty well. That chart's sideways with a lot of coins coming under pressure. XLM still looks good. I'm guessing that's a 1-2-1-2. What's the news, Scooty Mac? Share with us. Zen 24 came down and sprung that area that I mentioned. So I'm guessing that's probably the pink 1-2. Zen's still acting very well. If you're in a few of these right coins, it's not hurting quite as bad here. There's ZRX still. I've been liking it at $1.05 again. So it's at $1, so not much there. Software, I'm waiting still on the final update from the guys. I mean, they did the server work, and they're just trying to get the coin API then to fill in everything that we was missing. I would expect everything is fine on the software, so I showed it with the daily. Everything's working. We just was missing some intraday data. What was happening is if an exchange threw off a 5-minute period with no trade, it caused some issues, so they were fixing that. I don't really comment much on wallets, etc., Dusty. I'll leave that up to the main man, Nick. I will bring up that chart. I skipped over it, down 6%. It's kind of doing what a few of these other coins, the strong ones, are doing, springing a previous low. Stunner D giving away some. Oh, he's trying to catch me on my Twitter followers. So sell the news that NYSE is opening a Bitcoin market. I went over that already. I'm not sure how you would really sell that news, but it takes two to tango, so always a buyer and a seller for everybody. So I think that's really about it. 7,400 Bitcoin. Again, I'll be happy for the weekend if we now recover from this selling, which was, I'm sure, the OK guy getting liquidated at the lows. So if this is a test of the lows, it'd be nice if we really rally out here strong. There's Nick providing some info while at work. So I guess that's about it. IOTA up 5% after a quick smash and recovery for a nice big shakeout. I will show, here's Wing. Everybody knows I've been long that one from much lower levels. I did have a stop at this low here. I didn't want that low to be taken out, so luckily that held the last 3 days. And a big rally today on Wing stop. So that one's still good. Much higher objectives on the point and figure chart. I mentioned I like gold still a little bit. It's a little lower than where I mentioned that. I think gold could get a bounce here, gold and silver. There's Facebook. Again, this is the same software we're trying to get finished for the cryptos. It takes every 5 minutes trade and does the OP force and technometer, and then will give us a 5-minute intraday chart as well. So I don't have much to add here on Facebook. I mean, we did get an oversold technometer reading down here, but pretty big break, a lot of volatility. I'd have to wait for it to probably trade here and get a range started before I would venture into it. Considerable negative volume here on the O peak that came in. Not much help really with our indicators really on Facebook, I don't think. What's up, No Name? I mean, remember your No Name, but not your real name. So that's all I got. 70 people watching. There's not much else to say. I mean, I still think Bitcoin's acting very well when you move out to the hourly or 2 hourly. Let's just do the 1 hour. When we did that, the intraday data working, I mean, I didn't see anything horribly wrong with the wave 3. We have came back to the previous wave 4 support. I'm guessing, again, overnight, that OK sell had to bring in quite a bit of selling. So let's hope we can recover from that. What's up, Johnny? So this chart still looks good, and I guess in face of the alts falling apart, pretty good action by Bitcoin. Now we just need these alts to put in some bottoming patterns and try to put in some lows here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna be around this weekend. We just keep working here, so need to get home to the wife, but just too much going on here. So if you're crypto PCG, I have sent out some invoices if you want to check your email boxes. If you have any questions on PCG, if you're a client, hit me up. I'm here as always. Let's go back to Zen real quick, Johnny. We had that 24. I mentioned maybe we'd spring this low. We have done that. So, well, I don't know. It could go a hair lower here, but I guess I'm still thinking not. What up, Dusty? We kind of agree the same thing here. We think this is opportunities again, and we're going to have much higher markets here shortly. That's the Zen 1 hour, the 4 hour. Chart looks much better than a lot of other ones. So there's Stunner, you're right. 20 dog day will get you 20% off Learn Crypto course at learncrypto.io. Just set up a couple Instagram accounts for Learn Crypto and Wyckoff SMI if anybody's on Instagram. Going to try to post a few charts over there from the software once we get rolling. There's XLM USD longer term. CoinMarketCap apologizes for a glitch that caused it to display wildly inflated crypto prices. Interesting. If these alts turn up here, some of these coins I think are going to really lead us higher. So, what's up, Rocky Patel? I'm the man. I don't know about that, but we try. Let's go back to Square's been a really good performer on the stock side, giving up half of yesterday's gains. Somewhere here, I think you probably want to look at that. Overstock. Johnny, I still got to add that one from last night. We've always used Coinbase as our on-ramp, so I don't know what to think about that, Johnny. There's overstock on the 1-year chart. Kind of had a little bit of a buy here at 36 a week ago. Bitcoin setting here, so yeah, what Square announced that's their stock's done so well because they've announced big earnings off of Bitcoin, so obviously that must be pretty easy and simple. So I'd agree with Jason on that. Well, guys, that's all I got. Don't want to bore you, so any big action, if I'm around this weekend, I'll try to jump on again. And try to get the software back here from my guys and keep it moving. So have a good weekend, and we'll be back on here again soon. Thanks, guys.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stock runner on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy and sell following was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907 I created the Magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the Magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and created the Richard D. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff stock market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.